On a cold winter day in 1957, amidst the icy streets of Philadelphia, a murder that pierced the silence of the city was committed. In the Fox Chase neighborhood, in a dark and deserted wooded area, a body wrapped in a blanket was found in a cardboard child crib box belonging to the J.C. Penney chain stores. It was determined that the body belonged to a boy, estimated to be between 4 to 6 years old. The child's body was found naked and horribly mutilated. However, the most chilling aspect was that the identity of the child and the secret of the murderer had remained unsolved for years. Years went by, but the Philadelphia police could not trace the footsteps of this murder to reach a conclusion. Detectives, doctors, and DNA experts followed thousands of leads, but none brought a solution. Photographs of the body were plastered all over the city, yet no one could recognize the child or provide a clue about the killer. And eventually, the child was buried, labeled as America's unknown child. However, 65 years later, the secret of the murder was unexpectedly illuminated. A private investigator examining the Philadelphia police file noticed a small detail among the old documents. A piece of fabric found with the boxed child belonged to a popular retail chain of the time, Woolworths. This became a new starting point for the investigator. After a long and meticulous investigation, a name caught the attention of the investigator: Walter Thompson. Thompson was a man who lived in Philadelphia in the early 1950s and had associations with children. However, there were no negative records about Thompson's interactions with children in the files. The investigator examined Thompson's family tree and life story, and finally, a clue that illuminated the truth behind the murder 65 years ago emerged. Joseph Augustus Zarelli, a child, was a close relative of Thompson. DNA tests showed that the boxed child's DNA profile matched Zarelli's. However, more evidence was needed to prove who the killer was. The investigator carefully searched the woods near Thompson's home and found a piece of fabric belonging to Thompson near the location where the body was found. This clue led the police to detain Thompson. However, Thompson, now aged and in poor health, confessed to the crime and was willing to cooperate to ensure justice was served. And thus, 65 years later, the secret of the boxed child was finally solved. Philadelphia learned the truth behind this dark and mysterious event it had carried in its memory for years. The killer of Joseph Augustus Zarelli was apprehended from beyond time to be held accountable before justice.